People building 4 boxes when playing defensively, cranking for dear life up on height, or someone who does nothing but spring from an angle are all examples of incredibly annoying players to fight. In today's video, I'm going to be going through how to counter all of the most annoying players you'll meet in ranked, creative, or tournaments. So get your notebook, because this can make your next fights a ton easier. The first super annoying player we're going to be talking about is the player who instantly makes a Jiven 2x2 as soon as he gets tagged. When he builds this 2x2, it can be difficult to apply pressure, but if you do a very simple setup, you can pressure your opponent incredibly hard and be protected at the same time. Let me show you how it's done. When he boxes up, you want to quickly go over him and place a cone to one of the sides of the boxes. Then you want to jump and build walls and land on a cone so that you're in a box diagonally to his. Open a window and start pickaxing the wall or shooting it through the window. Make sure you're paying attention to how your enemy is playing, because chances are he'll open an edit on you when you pressure him. If he does, take that opportunity to hit a heavy shotgun shot. Something you need to keep in mind when doing this is that applying pressure with the pickaxe through the window is 100 times harder when you're building brick compared to wood and metal. This is because the window edit when you're using brick for some reason is a little off center to the right, whereas the window edit on both wood and metal is off center to the left, closer to the wall we're pressuring. So what I like to do is simply use metal in trios and wood in solo, unless I know there's a potential third party nearby. Another thing you need to keep in mind is not using all your bullets on your AR or SMG. When the opponent you're fighting is low HP, I recommend having the mentality that you can spray down to 7 bullets remaining on your AR and about 10 on your SMG when pressuring, because by doing this, you'll stop him from healing. And after that, you can apply pressure with your pickaxe, get in his box, and still have bullets left over to finish him off. A lot of people make the major mistake of using all their ammo, then the opponent makes a counterplay, and it becomes a very awkward situation where you're trying to change to your AR after having shot a shotgun shot, but you have no bullets, and you're trying to reload, and it just doesn't always end well. So keep a minimum of 7 bullets in your AR when you're getting into your opponent's boxes. Before I talk about the rest of the counters, I want to talk a little bit about tapin.gg. Tapin is the first ever premium looking for teammate platform that will match you up with verified pro players in less than 30 seconds. Using this platform is an amazing opportunity to improve lots, as you can play with and against incredible players who are available 24/7. It's so easy that you can fill your squad with unreal players in seconds. They also offer a no questions asked money back guarantee if you're unhappy with their services. Tapin is so highly respected that their 1,243 reviews on Trustpilot are 95% 5 stars. It's also being used by pros like Asian Jeff and Polarized, so you know that their services are of the highest quality possible. No player is able to reach their full potential without the help from others. So if you want to play with, against, or even get a coach to go over your tournaments, ranked, or custom games to find your weaknesses and give you a routine to follow to improve as much as humanly possible, check out Tapin in the top of the description below or the pinned comment. Back to how to counter annoying players. Let's touch on how to efficiently eliminate people who do nothing but crank. Players who only play from height are really hard to eliminate, if they're good at it. The main reason for this is that playing from height is objectively better than playing from low ground. You have more awareness when playing height, you'll use less mats, you'll see your opponent's head easier, and you're essentially forcing your opponent to make a move that you can punish. However, if you follow the rules I'm about to go over, you'll be able to win against height players incredibly consistently. First and foremost, when you go into a fight and you see that it's about to become a build fight where the opponent is definitely just a cranker, ask yourself, do I have a clear advantage mat-wise? Have I farmed more than my opponent, or gotten siphon mats from elims? If the answer is yes, then you're good to just start on build fighting. However, if the answer is no, you need to instantly look for chops, or at least whilst the start of the build fight is happening, actively think about what chop opportunities there might be, so that you know exactly how you can chop fast after having tagged your opponent and he starts healing. What a ton of people do wrong is that they just always build fight, regardless of whether they have an advantage or not. And this is mostly okay against low-level players, but in tournaments, you're way better off just instantly thinking about chops. If you know chances are your enemy has more mats than you. Learning chopping at a high level is crucial, and it's something a lot of people are truly terrible at. In the beginning, you will be awful at chopping too. It'll take a long time to even find chops. You'll have no awareness of your enemy, and truthfully, you'll think chopping is just not for you the first few times you attempt it. But long term, you'll become so much better as a fighter after having learned it properly once. So instead of playing on autopilot, think about mastering chopping in the days moving forward. And I can guarantee you'll level up as a player. I also want to show you guys some really nice moves you can use to get height. And first up, we have the cone break high cones. This right here is a super simple, but often very effective move you can use to essentially cuck your opponent. And often you can get a free shot off if your cone cuts off the enemy's stairs. The move is basically just placing stairs upwards. Then place a cone on top of the stair and keep holding your cone blueprint out to far edit your cone. And place 2 cones above your stair. 2 other truly essential moves you need to be able to do consistently are sprinting 90s and clicks ramps. The combination of these moves allows you to take height very quickly since you're gaining a ton of elevation super fast. Clicks ramps are done by placing 2 ramps out, doing one sprinting 90 and then sprint jumping onto the ramp you placed earlier but a flat and a stair. If you haven't done this move a lot before, it will feel a bit weird in the beginning, but getting the muscle memory down of this exact move is extremely important, as it's such a universal move that gets used a lot in competitive Fortnite. The final extremely good counter to height players is doing sprinting side jump shots. The reason these are so good is because most of the time your opponent will start healing after you hit him with a side jump shot, giving you an easy opportunity to get above him on height. And given that he does nothing but play height, he probably isn't the best from a low ground position. The next type of player we're going to counter is players that are incredibly aggressive. I'll teach you some highly unorthodox moves you can do to not be predictable at all. And with it, you'll also be able to deal damage back to your opponent without taking any back. The first method is far wall cone peaks. To do these peaks, simply make a box with a cone in it. And when your opponent comes pushing your wall, do either a window peek or a bottom Dorito edit. Then take your shot and enjoy the free damage. Another really cool thing you can do to turn a fight around when you're getting pushed is double editing your floor and cone when your enemy is at your wall. By doing that, you'll have the opportunity to 100% safely slide a cone above your wall. I'd recommend having a cone in your own box when doing this, as that makes it even easier. When you've coned your enemy, I recommend just taking height and fighting him from there, given that you have the HP to do it, of course. You can also use the double edit, then do a right hand peek on your wall and send the player you're fighting back to the lobby. Nobody ever sees this cone coming, and it's seriously good in fights against players of any level. The third exceptionally unorthodox play you can make is boxing up 2 boxes when getting pushed. Place a ramp above your head in the first box, then a cone in the second, and edit a door and go through it. Then when you're here, you want to edit these 2 tiles and jump up on the door. When your enemy pushes you, you'll get a free shot 999 times out of 1,000. Make sure that you're not in a spot where you can get third-partied if you do this in ranked or tournaments. The final counter I want to show you is simply jumping up into your enemy's cone when you get coned. This is a play only a handful of players do worldwide, even though it's incredibly easy. When you get boxed like this, your enemy will almost never place a floor above you. Only a cone. So try this out the next few times this happens to you, and before you know it, your muscle memory will have adapted it, and you'll find yourself getting out of situations you would have died in prior. Guys, I really hope you learned a thing or two today. Thank you so much for watching. Consider checking out Tapin in the description below to start playing with and against some seriously good players. Thanks guys.